because they simply have not done the work. And that's true universally, ubiquitously. Anyone who's done the work becomes a Bitcoin maximalist. If you are not a Bitcoin maximalist, it's because you have not done the work. And that is true. It's been true for many years now, and it's true today. Show me a Bitcoin skeptic, and I'll show you somebody who can't even answer any basic questions about it, who hasn't done the work.
Max Keiser, the former host of the Keiser Report, has been a Bitcoin OG since 2011. Since then, the American broadcaster and filmmaker has been tirelessly promoting the crypto asset. Keiser is a proud Bitcoin maximalist who believes any skeptic of the crypto asset has limited information and knowledge about the asset. In a recent tell-all interview with Daniel Cambone, Keiser discusses the future of Bitcoin, his Elzon Capital hyper-Bitcoinization firm with his wife, Stacy Herbert, and his competition with MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor. Keiser seems to be in a race with the MicroStrategy boss to gobble up as many Bitcoins as possible before the next phase of adoption, which Keiser says will be massive. Please watch, share, and like the video. We would also love to read your comments on Keiser's interview and general outlook on the market. So drop them in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the video.
The price is becoming less and less of a factor because they've entered into hyper-Bitcoinization. It's becoming a unit of account. So people are not, people don't ask what the price of the dollar is, and people aren't going to be asking what the price of Bitcoin is because it just becomes a unit of account. That's where we're headed. We're headed toward hyper-Bitcoinization, where people are just immersed in a Bitcoin world, and the price in fiat terms is not really going to matter much. It's not really going to be discussed because we move beyond fiat. And with hyper-Bitcoinization comes a lot of other societal goods and benefits, which are more philosophical, but nevertheless, there's a huge benefit coming beyond just the use of Bitcoin as the ultimate store of value and medium of exchange.
Throughout your journey with Bitcoin, your love affair with Bitcoin, what would you say was the moment that defined it for you, where you were like, okay, or this, whatever event that happened made you realize there will be mass adoption? Was there that one moment for you?
Yeah, it happened in 1996 when I invented the first patented virtual currency, patent number 5950176 on the U.S. Patent Office. I realized that virtual currencies would take the place of everything else because people on the internet, people were accepting the virtual currency as money. So the issue with my invention is that it was a centralized version of a digital currency, of a virtual currency. There were several of that time that were on the internet, and the cypherpunks who were beginning their work into what became Bitcoin, which would be a purely decentralized monetary network, had a couple of different attempts. Adam Back had Hashcash, and there were several other attempts to create a Bitcoin. There were 20 different versions of Bitcoin before Bitcoin, and there have been 15,000 different versions of Bitcoin after Bitcoin. And none of them before Bitcoin have worked, and none of them after Bitcoin have worked. They've all failed, except Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the only one that hit the mark right on perfectly and created that perfect incentive model that captured the world's imagination and is now becoming global standard. So I would say my moment of illumination came during my .com days. When I saw Bitcoin in 2011, I said, oh, wow, okay, I get it. It's a digital currency, but it's going to be decentralized, and it works on, the Hashcash, but with the difficulty adjustment thrown in. So this can take over the world. But talking about it, as we did at that time, a lot of people hated us to talk about it because, especially the gold bugs, because they didn't put the work in.
Keiser also talks about his Elzon Capital hyper-Bitcoinization firm, which he recently launched in partnership with Stacy Herbert and Corey Clipson. Elzon is an investment firm focused on companies working towards hyper-Bitcoinization. He mentions that the venture is going to be massively successful while describing himself as one of the best money managers in history.
I've been right for, now for 12 years. I'm one of the best money managers in history because I've had a heavy position in Bitcoin for 12 years. So it's been compounding at like 100%. And my new fund, Elzonte Capital, with Stacy and Corey Clipston, is going to be another hugely interesting fund.
Has Michael Saylor reached out to you about it? Is he interested in it? Have you spoken to him?
I haven't. The thing about, we're competing with each other. He's trying to gobble up all the Bitcoin in the world, and so am I. So, we'll see. We'll see who comes out the winner on the other end. He has to disclose all of his Bitcoin because he's a public company. I don't have that requirement. I have no requirement to disclose my Bitcoin for 12 years. I have no requirement to do so, and I have never done so. Where Michael must disclose, and he does disclose. But I'll say that at the end of the day, the race is on, and we'll see who comes out on top. El Zonte Capital is going to be just like Bitcoin Capital was that we started in 2013 with the first venture capital fund in Bitcoin. It's had one of the best track records ever in history. Heisenberg Capital, I did that one, another incredible track record. 40% hit ratio on unicorns. So I don't think anyone has that high a hit ratio nailing unicorns in the VC space, not even Tim Draper.
One of our interviews, you had mentioned, going back to gold and silver, you had a ton of it at a point that you were selling it. Have you finished selling all of it? Are you done?
Yeah, it's all gone. I mean, I have one gold ounce that I use.
Keepsake.
Yeah, I use it as a coaster in the kitchen. And sometimes when I'm with Jim Rogers, I like to take it out and say, look, Jim, I've got that same gold ounce Jim Rogers has been carrying around now for 40 years. It hasn't moved up in price, or certainly not in the last 10 years.
It has moved in price, Max. It just,
over 10 years, it's flat. It was 1900 10 years ago. I mean, that's simple mathematics. I mean, is that now off limits on social media? We can't talk about math. 2 + 2 = 4, Danielle. It still equals 4. It was $1,900 10 years ago. It's $1,900 today, thereabouts. It hasn't moved. Sorry to be so, direct, but it's done. It's been dead money. If you have money in gold for 10 years, you would sound as silly as Peter Schiff.
It was really fun reminiscing with you. It's always so nice going down memory lane with you. So I appreciate your thoughts. I hope you had fun.
Well, I'm rooting for you. I realize based on your words and the sound of your voice that you're underinvested in Bitcoin. Because if you were adequately and sufficiently invested in Bitcoin, you would be doing more of a tap dance on the table right now, celebrating the new world that's coming because of perfect money. So I suggest whatever your Bitcoin position is now to increase it by a factor of 10x, and things will start looking better.
You're gobbling all of it up. Like you said, you're taking...
That's right. You better hurry. Under $100,000, it's like free. 100,000 is the new $5.
Leave it to Keiser to throw shades at Michael Saylor, Tim Draper, and Peter Schiff all in one interview. His outlook might be slightly controversial, but it is also refreshing and gives a hint into what the future will look like with Bitcoin. In his interview, Keiser seems very sure that his Bitcoin holding is close to Michael Saylor's or more. Do you want to take a guess as to the number of Bitcoin Keiser holds and how much money he has made, considering that he bought his first Bitcoin in 2011 when it was only $1 per coin? Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching the video.